Our topic is optic, and we will show about its meaning and some example of the optic device. Our team is composed by Kibsaim, Lizbeth, Carlo, and me, Maricela, and we will explain some device of them. Optic is the branch that studies the light and produces phenomena. It is divided into geometric optics, the branch of optics that studies the light in terms of rays. It means does not need consider the natural weight of light. Physic optics is an optic field which studies the wave properties of light. Quantum optics is an optics field which studies the corpuscles properties, photons or quantum of light. Optical instruments are used for various purposes, but their basic function is to improve and expand our power of visual observation. Vision is our main means of acquiring information about the world without the microscopes and telescopes that allow us to see invisible objects that are not captured by the naked eye. Our knowledge of the world will be very poor. Also, some optical instruments are extremely complex. They can usually be understood in terms of their basic components, which may be lens and mirrors.
The lenses are transparent bodies made then by glass or plastic and have refractive properties of the materials. There are two types, converging lens and diverging lens. The first on one... Okay. ¿Mande? ¿Les digo ahí?
No, hasta el principio.
Si quieres, vuélvelo a... O sea, me va a seguir grabando, pero le corto. Sí. Yo te digo. Te digo 1, 2, 3, te esperas un segundo, 3. ¿Sí? Yo digo, lleva...
A ver, no, mejor todo una vez. Ajá. The first one lens refracts. The lenses are transparent bodies made then by glass or plastic and have refractive properties of the materials. There are two types, converging lens and diverging lens. The first one lens refracts and covers light parallel to the focal point beyond the lens. They are used to magnify the image, for example, the photographic cameras, microscope, etc. The second lens refracts and diverges light parallel to the focal point located in front of the lens. This type of lens, for example, are used by the people of myopia.
Lens equation. If P is the distance to object, Q is the distance to image, Y is the size of the object, Y prime is the size of the image, and if F is the focal length of lens, we have 1 over the distance of the object plus 1 over distance to image is equal to 1 over the focal length of lens, where the signs of the convection are distance to the object P and image Q is positive for objects and real image, and negative to objects and virtual image. Focal distance F is positive for converging lens, for diverging lens.
A mirror is a surface that is either plane, concave or convex, and that reflects rays of light. A spherical mirror is formed by a section of reflective sphere. It has a radius of curvature, center of curvature, vertex of the mirror, linear opening from which can be convex mirror, and an axis of the same that passes through the center of curvature and through its vertex. Mirror equation. If P is the distance for an object to mirror, Q is a distance for a mirror to image, Y is a side of the object, Y prime is a side of the image, and F is a focal length, we have 1 over the focal length is equal to the sum of 1 over the distance from the object plus 1 over the distance from mirror to image, where the scenes of the convection are: number 1, the distance to the object P is positive for real objects and negative for virtual objects. Number 2, the distance to image Q is positive for real images and negative for virtual images. Number 3, the focal distance F is positive for converging mirrors, convex, and negative for diverging mirrors, convex.
Examples of optical instruments are microscope. It is an instrument used to observe very small objects, which cannot be observed with the naked eye. Without any apparatus, we will be unable to see these small objects. It is composed of two lenses called objective and eyepiece. Ocular lens. This is the lens located near the observer. Captures and enlarges the image of the object. Lens objective. Brightness the image is a vital element of microscope, as it allows viewing through the eyepiece. It is located in the revolver.
There are several types of microscope, including simple microscope. It consists of a convex lens of magnifying lens. It is used to enlarge the image of the observer objects. It is the most basic microscope. The most classic example is the magnifying glass. Optical or composite microscope. A basic composite microscope consists of a pair of converging lenses, each of which contributes to the magnification of the part of the object to be viewed. They are used to observe transparent objects and to encode the image of objects and organisms not visible.
Photographic camera is a device responsible for collecting a beam of light from an object and projecting it into a film impregnated with a photosensitive substance, so that light coming from a cone as narrow as possible on each point of the film. That is, the camera must form an actual image on the film of all objects in its field of vision. It is a set of lenses that concentrate the rays of light emanating from the object in the camera. In its simplest form, we define it as a plate of polished glass. The object is reached by the light that is dispersed from the individual and makes him coverage, again forming an image.
Binoculars. They are small refracting telescopes which have a built-in prime system to shorten the support tube and avoid invert vision. They use a combination of lens and primes to enlarge the image. The lenses guide the light and allow us to focus the enlarged image in our eyes. The primes allow the image that reach our eyes to come from axes more separate than our two eyes, increasing the stereoscopic or relief sensation of what we see.
Telescope is an optical instrument that applies the optical principles of mirrors and lenses to improve our ability to see distant objects, allowing us to observe them by amplifying the image through concave mirrors. It produces a sharp and augmented image of a distant object. There are two types of telescope. The refractor. It is based on the reflection of the light emitted by the object. The light beam passing through the lens alters its path and causes an increased image of the observed object. It basically consists of a lens formed by a chromatized convergent lens of great focal length and an eyepiece formed by a convergent lens of a small focal length.
Reflector. It is one that uses one or more mirrors to reflect light and form an image. It consists of a tube and a mirror that functions as a target and can be parabolic, hyperbolic, or spherical, and secondary mirror and an eyepiece. Its operation is as follows: the light that penetrates to the tube of the telescope, hits the target mirror, and is reflected towards a secondary flat mirror, which directs the rise of light towards the eyepiece.
Projector is an optical instrument intended to be a real and augmented image of a small object. The system that makes up a projector are the illuminating system that produces enough intensity to illuminate the film. The condenser, which is an optical system of lens and mirrors that plays the role of concentrating the light rays on the films. The optical projection system consisted primarily of a converging lens, whose function is to deflect the light rays by rotating them to produce the image on the screen. A cooling system that avoids excessive heating, a mechanical or electronic system whose function is to produce the movement of the film. Describe the differences and similarities between mirrors and lenses.
Differences. Mirrors reflect the light, lenses refract it. The light passes through the lenses but does not pass through the mirrors. A lens is a transparent body and the mirror is an opaque body.
Similarities. The instruments function with light. There are different types of mirrors and lenses. What types of image are formed by concave mirror?
Images increase and even invert.
What types of images are formed by convex mirror? Virtual or bright, small size, regardless the object in front of the mirror is placed. It is possible to project a real image of an object by concave mirror.
Yes, it is possible because if the object is a distance greater than the focal distance, a real and inverted image is formed that can be larger or smaller than the object.
A concave spherical mirror has a radius of curvature of 1.5 meters. The size, letter A, the position, letter B, the height of the image of a real object, 10 centimeters high, placed in front of a mirror at a distance of 1 meter.
Electricity. Optical devices can relate to electricity and most of them use batteries or electric current to ignite. Heat. Optical device can change temperature, for example, the variable temperature microscope. Fluids. Optical devices are solids.